Hey y'all, what we're going to be doing today is a low and slow cook on the Old Smokey with a pork picnic shoulder. And I'm going to be injecting it, pulling out the skin as well. Stay tuned, should be interesting.
It's an awkward piece to cut, I'll tell you that much. Get underneath here. I don't want to go too far into that. There we go. I just gently pull back. Well, I'll tell you, that didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. So there it is, all trimmed up. Took about 5 to 10 minutes. There's the skin, which I'll save for later. All this fat I'm gonna leave on there. Let me take a look at this side. It's all, well, I might cut that piece off, but everything else is gonna stay. And that's it, skin's off. Now it's time to start seasoning it up. All right, y'all. Now it's time to make the seasoning. Cutting board's all washed up, we're cleaned up. What I'm gonna use for the seasoning is a pretty simple blend. It's I'm gonna mention them again. It's also Big Lew's Cajun spice rub, which I got a big whole quart-sized jar full of. I'm gonna mix in about half and half of that and some brown sugar. I'm gonna throw this into the mason jar here. I'm gonna move Wilbur aside. So it should be nice, spicy, and sweet as well. Put our lid on. Shake her up a bit. That's looking pretty good. Now I've got another lid. See if this guy will work. This is the one I use for the Cajun seasoning. And it's already got a couple of nail holes in it. So use that. And then start sprinkling. I was going to use a binder. I was thinking about maybe doing that, but decided to skip it. But for the pork, sometimes when I make pork butts, I actually use mustard as a binder. Doesn't seem to impart any flavor from what I've heard. I've done it both with and without. I've really not tasted much of a difference. I'm going to be using this. Oh, can't see it. Cut! I'm going to be using this. Cajun Injector Creole Butter. Comes with an injector, although I have one as well. It's mild, marinates in minutes, not hours. And it's basically just a blend, I think, of mostly butter and Cajun seasoning. All right, now that Wilbur's all injected, what we're gonna do is set aside some apple juice. Could actually put in some Cajun butter as well. I'll add a bit of that too. And then just some apple juice. This is just store brand apple juice. Add a bit of that. And then let's add some of our Cajun spice and brown sugar mix. I don't know, what do you think? A couple of tablespoons. That'll probably do it. That'll probably do it right there, and I think that's it. We're good to go. So we'll get the grill fired up, and then get started.
I had a full chimney of charcoals, making space with a shovel for the water pan, which has apple juice. All right. Well, it's about time to put it on. It's looking good. Coals are doing all right. So I'm just gonna have to watch them for hours and hours on end. Started this on awful late.
I'm just gonna handle it. Boom. On and on. So we're running a little bit colder now since I opened it up. And stuck that on right next to my gauge. But it's looking good. So we're gonna baste it about every hour or so until it's done. And just as a bonus, here's something that's been running in the background for a day. Spicy Cajun peanuts. I may do a video on that soon. So good. Well, it started nosediving in temperature. After 15 minutes, it started hitting 220. Then it went down to 217. Not yet, buddy. Not yet, buddy. So I came out to open up the bottom grate a bit, and then maybe throw a couple more charcoal chips in. A few more briquettes. But it's looking pretty good so far. Looks like we're gonna stabilize temperature pretty soon. I also forgot to mention I did throw in a couple of pecan chunks, so that's in there too. Anyhow, doing good. So back to yeah, buddy. And there we sit after 15 minutes. So I just popped the lid for a second just to give it some oxygen. And you can see the pecan chunks too. Probably should have split those up. Those are gigantic pecan chunks, which I just got from Home Depot. Anyhow, we're starting to look good. This is gonna be one long cook. My people, my people. So we're about an hour and a half in. It's been sitting pretty good at about 250. Let's see where we are now. So it's looking pretty good. I thought I'd based it about an hour in, but it's been about an hour and a half. And our base is basically just a mixture of, I didn't really take any measurements, but it's about 2 to 3 ounces of Cajun butter, which is what we use for the marinade. About a cup of apple juice. 2 to 3 tablespoons of the rub we used. And that was, once again, that was the Cajun seasoning that Big Lew made, as well as brown sugar. 2 to 3 ounces of apple cider vinegar, which I just did add a bit later. Coals are doing alright. I may add a couple more coals. Hey yo, we're about almost now 2 hours and 40 minutes in, and it seems like the Old Smokey is kind of stalling around 200 degrees. So I'm gonna start putting in some lit coals. I just lit up about 9 coals on this thing. The pork shoulder's reading about 129, so it should be good. Should be back to yeah, buddy, in no time at all. Stay tuned. Keep you up to date. And that's looking pretty dang nice. I did add a couple more pecan chunks. My people, my people. Well, I gotta say, we're looking pretty good. We're about 4.5 hours in. Internal temperature is 147. That is looking really good. I'm gonna baste it a bit. So the basting sauce, it's been sitting in the sun, keeps it warm. Put that on there so y'all can see it. Oh, it's looking pretty juicy. And I will have to baste the back end side. I do that off camera. Alright y'all, like I said, it's looking pretty good. We got a ways to go. So we're in yeah buddy territory. But it ain't too bad. So I'm waiting for pulled pork in about 6 hours or so. Hey y'all, I'm trying to keep the pit going. If you want to refer to it as pit, $45. It's a pit. I love it. But I'm trying to keep it going. We're about 140. What are we? 149 internal, and about, well, back up to 216. I don't know if y'all can see that. I think it's probably backwards.
And then I'm keeping charcoal going. Just basted it again. But I'm keeping charcoal going that I keep feeding it with. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a long night. Here's the chimney of coals I keep. That's the bottom end of the chimney. So I keep feeding it with those, just to keep the temp up. It's working well so far. Takes a bit of effort, takes a bit of washing over, but ain't working too bad. Well, we hit 150 internal, and it's just sticking there. So I think that's our stall. I've never wrapped before, but now it's time to wrap. I'm just gonna take aluminum foil and wrap her up. Pretty good, and that measures 175 as well. So we got a ways to go. It's been quite a long cook. On the plus side, the pit, if you want to call it that, is doing quite well. I think we're doing pretty good. We'll wrap this back up. And the pork shoulder is looking pretty good today. Add some more coals. They're all good. A ways to go. We're about 9 hours later. The bone fell straight out as I pull it out. I think we're in good shape. Reading 195. I'm gonna wrap it up and then we'll pull it. It smells amazing. All right, here's our final product, and it looks like it's gonna easily shred. So I'm looking forward to this. The bone already fell out, so we got that going on. We got another bone in here. See if we can pull that one out. So we're just dealing with meat, and the dogs are up. Hi, Frank. All right, let's wait on that one. This should be pretty easy to shred. That's all there is to it. And the bones, I'm going to save for stock, because I make stock all the time. Out of bones or vegetable scraps. Hi, Edward George. That's my cat. What do you want? Hi, Hannah. Everyone's here. Anyhow, I'm going to shred this up. Maybe give a piece to the dogs and cat.
and then make me a sandwich. And that's a wrap. You guys want a piece? Alright. Here, Edward George. Oh, hand wasn't. And there's hand. Was it good, hand? Let's give Frank a piece too. There you go, Frank. So, this has been a success. It's been an interesting voyage and interesting experience, but this has been a huge success. And I'm looking forward to pulled pork sandwiches. And it's time for me to take a taste test too. So I'm actually going to make myself a sandwich. Using Famous Dave's barbecue sauce, double spit. That's a good one. It's spicy. Pour a little on. Let's take a try. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Hey yo, now it's time for final wrap up and thoughts. So I did a cheap cut on a cheap grill, and it worked out fantastically well. I love the Old Smokey. It's funky, it's weird, it leaks like a sieve, but it held temperature and it did really well. I should have trusted it a little bit more than I did. And the pork picnic shoulder, fantastic. It's a cheap cut of meat. Works really well, and you get the extra skin for cracklins. I think the only reason it's cheap is because people don't know how to do it. But if I can do it, you can too. Thanks for joining Pickles Barbecue. See you next time.